I'm Alex Brown, and I'd like to introduce you to the UL Design Lookup aid for floor systems. This tool allows you to quickly filter through UL fire resistance assemblies based on hourly rating, deck profile, and protection methods, which allows you to quickly select an appropriate assembly for your project. Let's jump in. First thing I want to point out is the structure of this tool. You've got these drop downs up here, and these act as filters for the larger database of UL assemblies that we've got kind of behind the scenes here. So as we make our selections, the tool will start filtering to the ones that are valid for those requirements. So the deck profile can be selected here, whichever one you're desiring for your project. Any fire protection methods for the deck or the joist can be selected here. If there's one that your contractor or your field labor is preferring for a project, you can select an unrestrained or restrained assembly. And there's some language off to the side here that explains that difference and kind of how UL and the structural world interprets that. And then how many hours you're looking for, from 0.5 all the way up to 4 hours. So with that, let's jump into an example. We'll go ahead and select B form lock. With these different abbreviations, if you're not familiar with the naming conventions for Verco, I'll point you to the Steel Deck product page here. Is a really good resource for filtering in exactly the deck type and how it's abbreviated. So that's going to give me all of my assemblies that feature B form lock deck. So I can scroll through here, and at the moment it's a pretty long list. So I can continue filtering that down with some additional selections. So for the deck fire protection, I don't want to have to do anything to the deck, so we'll select none there. And on the joist, we'll go ahead and spray those. The word joist here is used a little loosely because there is a mechanism to substitute in beam for a joist and vice versa. And you can see that reflected here with some of the minimum beam and minimum open web steel joist sizes that are shown. And then that's still calculating, but I'll go ahead and throw in a 1 hour rating that we're looking for. So now that it's done calculating, I can look through my list here, and you can see D902 comes up quite a bit, along with a few other options here. D902 is listed multiple times because of the different concrete arrangements that that particular assembly supports. So you can see different slab thicknesses, normal weight versus lightweight, different strengths. So that B form lock is the only available deck profile because we're filtering for that. Same with the fire protection methods. And then minimum beam sizes, minimum joist sizes, if those are present within an assembly, we'll have them listed here. In this design hyperlink column, if I click on that, that takes me to the assembly itself on UL's website. Using their website does require an account. It's a free sign up. And once you're in, you're able to access all of these. And if I scroll down here, I can see the joist requirements, the concrete requirements with all of those options listed out here, and then all of the rest of the details for acceptable deck, reinforcing, etc. Going back to the tool here, let's change the example up just a little bit. So we'll change that deck fire protection to acoustic material below, shown here. And then the joist fire protection, we'll just say no option selected, so that'll run it wide open. No option selected is not the same as zero protection. There is something, we're just not particular about what that method is to protect the joist. And then with the new filters here, it's a much shorter list. It's only D216 and D219. And you can see here just some different language for minimum joist sizes and then minimum girder sizes as well. There's some requirements there for depth and weight per foot. And that's the UL Design Lookup aid for floor systems. It's a great resource for exploring available fire rating assemblies for joist and deck, making them that much easier to use on your next project. And with that, happy specifying.